live the way my... Wow. I forgot how to talk. I think I live my life the way that I do, and I spend so much time in solitude because I've never understood why human beings feel the need to complicate everything. I suppose I do actually understand it. Although I don't want to do it myself. I think a lot of it's like trauma and like self-distraction and also just being impressed with our own minds and intellect and, but we're part of nature, and nature is so beautiful and we fit into it so perfectly. We've been suited. Our bodies are designed and made to fit into a particular niche, to be stewards of the land, of the earth, and food grows up out of the earth. There's sunshine, there's water, there's fresh air. Everything we need to survive, and not just survive, but thrive. Like, there is a natural order of things. There is a natural economy. But we decided to create our own economy and to create our own system and to complicate everything. To create technologies and systems that actually don't work for us, but rather we work for them somehow. Like, we've become a slave to our own system. What's the point of that? Shouldn't the system serve us? It's serving a few, the system we're in, the system we have. It's certainly serving someone, otherwise it wouldn't exist. But look at the vast majority of people on this earth. There's a lot of slaves. There's a lot of people who believe they're free who are slaves. But it doesn't have to be that way. And a lot of people know that. A lot of people hide from that truth. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people benefit from it, so they don't care to look at it and they don't need to. But if you are looking at it and seeing there's a problem, and deciding you don't like it, you want it to be different, well, okay, how do we go about making it different? I've decided you just stop participating. Like, you don't try to force it or change it. You just stop participating, because it takes our participation to make it run. So you withdraw the fuel source, the food source. That's us. It runs on us. It eats us. This beast, this monster, this thing that's running the world. I don't buy it. Like, literally, I don't buy it. And I don't believe in it. And so that's why I spend a lot of time alone, because there's not a lot of people who are maybe, I could say able or willing, but unless someone's literally tying you down, you're able to walk away from it. It might be incredibly hard, especially if you have kids, you have people depending on you. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And, if you know that you're participating in something that's hurting lots of people, how can you justify participating in it? It's like, I know how much of our tax dollars go towards war. Waging war, creating weapons of destruction, murdering people. How much of our income taxes go to that? Okay. But if you make below a certain amount of income in this country, you don't have to pay income taxes. So that's one way to not participate in that aspect of things. To not be a part of it. Is to not pay into it. I'm not saying don't pay taxes. Like, I'm not saying make money and then hide the fact that you made money. And don't. I'm saying, could you live more simply? Could you need less? Could you spend less on extravagant things. Like, I know a lot of people are strapped, so that might be a silly thing to say. I don't think a lot of people are living extravagantly. But I think our idea of what it is to live well is very skewed in this culture because of the way we've been brainwashed and conditioned. I mean, we have supercomputers. I don't know if this phone is a supercomputer, but it's pretty damn super in our pockets. You know, even those among us who are broke and strapped for cash have that. We have access to speaking to people across the globe in real time. You're pretty damn wealthy if you have that. But, you know, just because you can make connections, you can reach out, you can find opportunities. But the real wealth is free. You just have to get access to it. And I know that maybe I'm making that sound like it's easy, you know. Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland, but we still live in a relatively free country in that you can go out on a walk in nature. You can find out who your local farmers are. You can go visit the farm. Maybe you could volunteer there. Maybe you could do work exchanges. You know, there are alternative ways to live that are outside of the system, at least outside of the way we've been programmed to believe that this is the responsible way to live. This is the correct way, you know. And we've all been taught to shame anyone who dares to color outside of those lines. We call them irresponsible. We call them crazy, weird. I mean, I really think if you want to wake up, if you want to step into your destiny, you got to be willing to be weird. You got to be willing to color outside of the lines. Because I think what's happened is, when God made us, each of us, He broke the mold. We are each utterly unique individuals. Like, no one else is like you. No one sees the world from your perspective. And you matter. The proof of that is that you exist. Your truth, your perspective, your experience matters to the rest of us. It's the only hope that any of us have in figuring out what reality actually is if we all talk amongst ourselves and share our unique perspectives. So, it might not be easy, but it is possible to live alternatively. You can't care about what other people think about you. You should care about other people, but you shouldn't care what other people think about you. You shouldn't make decisions about your own life based on that. Because you'll end up miserable. But that's what we've all been taught to do. And that's why so many people are anxious and depressed. They're living for some other person's opinion, some other person's approval, when that other person is actually doing the same thing. They're too caught up and worried about what you're thinking about them to worry about what they're thinking about you. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. That's what everybody's doing. And while at the same time ignoring each other's plights and stepping over homeless, starving people in the street, you know, just, I'm not saying you do that, but a lot of us do because we've been desensitized and it's become so ubiquitous, it's overwhelming. It's like, what do you do when a problem is this huge? Well, a lot of us we stick our heads in the sand, or we pop a pill, or drink a cold beer after work and stare at the TV. But these are all choices that we're making. When it comes right down to it, it comes down to personal responsibility. We all have free will, so you have a responsibility to make a choice. You don't get to not choose. Not choosing in and of itself is a choice. So you're choosing to be irresponsible. You're choosing to put your fate in the hands of another man, or a system, a government. And the system's out of control. It's out of control. These times, we live in a wicked world, guys. So, we're in the world, but we should not be of it because it's wicked. So how much longer do you want to play into this wickedness? If you participate in it, you're part of it. And there's a lot of lies and tricks, and lies we tell ourselves and tricks we pull on ourselves so that we can keep participating in the system, because it's scary. It's all we've ever known, so it's scary to walk away into the unknown. But that's why we have to have faith. That's where faith comes in. If you truly have a relationship with God, if you truly have a relationship with Christ, you don't have to fear. You know you will be provided for. We're at the time. Okay? God is separating the wheat from the chaff. The weeds are being removed. It's harvest time. It's all being exposed. So it's time to get your heart right. And part of getting your heart right is getting real, repenting, and making the righteous choice, the right choice, walking the straight and the narrow path, which in this world is not convenient. It's purposely been set up that the evil way is the convenient way, and the good way, the righteous way, is difficult as swimming upstream. But you'll get stronger and stronger and stronger as you do it. And your faith will get stronger and stronger and stronger as you do it, as you walk in the light of God. It's true. So, listen guys, there's people with computer chips in their brains. CERN, the Hadron Collider, they're trying to make black holes and portals leading to other dimensions so they can go into the future or into the past and take resources and bring them back here. That's really happening. And they're saying we discovered magic. Okay? There's orbs, there's UPAs, there's plasma in the sky, and the government is saying, oh, we don't know what it is, but don't worry, it's not dangerous. What? Guys, we're in the time of Noah. It's here. It's on repeat. So we have a manual called the Bible, which tells us everything that's about to unfold. We are in the end times. So get in the Word, get in your prayers, reach out to people who are walking the path, online. This is a good thing that we have this ability to do this, at least for now. This is one way in which we can use our technology for good, is to reach out to our brothers and sisters in Christ and find one another and build community. Because there's not a lot of us in this world. There's a lot of people that claim to be Christians, but who don't know God, who don't know Christ. They go to church and they put on a show. They wear the outfit, they wear the costume. And I'm not saying they don't even realize they don't have a real relationship with God. I think many people, because they've been so indoctrinated and brainwashed by the system and by these prosperity gospels who have injected mammon into the church. I believe Christ was against churches. I'm not into churches or religion per se. I'm into Christ. I'm into taking personal responsibility. I'm into waking up. And I believe the Gospels of Jesus Christ are an instruction manual on how to wake up, to see through the veil, to see the truth. So, when you're walking the path, the narrow path, with God, insofar as other human beings, oftentimes it can become very lonely, or you will find yourself alone. But like I said, I actually don't feel lonely. I used to feel lonely before I came to Christ. But I also believe that God is bringing his people together. So I don't think that it will be much longer that we will have to be alone. I think we'll all be coming together as a family, as brothers and sisters, with our Father in heaven, in the kingdom. The kingdom is coming. I feel that, guys. I know it in my heart. So, I don't celebrate Christmas as a holiday because of the consumerism, because of the way that it's been hijacked and used for mammon, for controlling people, and it's just, it's not aligned with my values. But I celebrate Christ. Okay, that's what the spirit of Christmas is supposed to be all about. And every day I celebrate Christ. So, tomorrow, on Christmas, I'm going to spend the day in deep meditation, in deep study. And I think I'm going to upload some videos of, I'm reading the Gospels. So, I think I will record some of that and upload it to share it with everyone. And I'm sorry if this has been kind of rambly. And thank you for listening if you made it this far. I really just felt like talking, you know. It's important to be able to just speak out loud sometimes. And, you know, maybe someone else out there can feel a moment of connection, you know. And that's a good thing. To know that you're not alone. We're never alone. Remember to breathe. Remember to breathe deeply. It will ground you. And it's so nice. I'm so thankful for this body.